Polyandry, as a Christian, as a believer, or as somebody who believes in the Bible, what do you all think? There's been a lot of debate about the issue of polyandry, and to those who do not know what polyandry means, it's a scenario whereby a woman can marry two different men at the same time. And I'm going to give you my reasons and why I think it will not work. And you all tell me what you think, and I'm going to give a biblical perspective on that. The first thing that I think polyandry will not work is that, number one, women are actually generally more than men. So if a woman then have two men in her life, which means that you are going to have a problem, because that man, as much as you say you have married two men, you will not stop that man from marrying another woman, even if you are saying they are married to you. So it ends up not being polyandry, it ends up being a prostitution or something like that, or husband sharing. That is my thinking. So it's no longer polyandry, it's something else. And those numbers are actually, I know there's a statement that people always say that the number of men is actually fewer than the number of women. And then you find that some of the percentage is taken by priests, and then the other percentage is taken by gay men, and the other percentage is taken by people, the guys that are in prison, because there are generally more men that are in prison than women. And then the other percentage is taken by people that are in the streets, that are hobos. And the other percentage is taken by people that are drug addicts, that are not even interested in getting into a relationship with a woman. So I would think that the sensible thing would to legalize polygamy, and as it is in Africa, in many parts of Africa, probably that would be a better way of addressing such a scenario. Then the second thing that I think, the second reason why it will not work is the fact that many men will not be interested in marriage. Many men will not subscribe to the issue of having one woman and marrying that person. What they would then do is that I'll just sleep with somebody, and then we can have babies, I can co-parent with them. So they won't be interested in marriage, because the trauma of a man thinking that I'm going to be having to share the woman with another man, to be like from the foundations of the world, from up to now, it is something that is unheard of. So that is the reason number two. Men will not be interested in marriage. So it is not an advantage to women, it is actually a disadvantage. So this is disadvantage number two. Then the third thing that I want you to understand from a biblical point of view, which is a travesty and an abomination to this polyandry thing. The issue of polyandry, Jesus is the owner of the church, right? He is the husband to the church, and he is the one who is the man. There is no any other Jesus that is subscribing to this church that can be said he is also co-husband to the church. So the setup that is there is Jesus is the husband, the church is the wife. So that's why you have one man and one wife. That's why Jesus said, when people were saying, why is it that we have been allowed to divorce? And Jesus said that from the beginning it was not so. It was one man and one woman, and then he explained it further. So the understanding that is there is that for the wife then now to have another man and have Jesus, it means that Jesus is no longer the husband. So from the biblical point of view, what this means is that the church has committed whoredom, and there is no way that you can have Jesus said that there is no way that you can have two masters. You love the other one and love the other. So there is no way that a woman can submit to two men. And just a thought of something to think about. How will you know that this person or the man that you are saying is the father of your children? How will you be able to see, to identify, to say this person is infertile or this one is fertile? How do you how do you work around that? So for me, I know the people legalize a lot of bad things, which they just say we have thought this through, but sometimes common sense should be common. So how will you see if the other man is infertile or not? How are you going to do that? So for me, it is a problem, and it's not going to work. I know one of the polygamist, Mr. Mseleku, who features on one of the TV shows, has said it will not work because it is a travesty. But I know that the world has been prepared. You know, we've been watching one of the soapies which was showing a woman having two men in her life, which people have been prepared maybe mentally to say this might work, but I tell you it will not work, because what we are going to find is that men are going to, one, not to be interested in marriage. Two, they are not going to be there for their kids, because the men will be saying that you are the man now, because you are the one who calling the shots, you are the one who's having all these two men, you take care of the kids. So it's going to put an extra burden on the woman. And number three, it's going to break the family unit. So these are the things that I feel like, I know the people who are advocating for that, they have got money, probably they don't have successful marriages, and they were saying let's do that. But I feel like a better devil for me is advocating for polygamy, to say let's legalize polygamy and have this kind of a setup. For me, it's a better direction to move towards, and maybe educating the world to say you can do this because of the ratio in numbers between women and men. But anyway, tell me what you think according to your analysis, according to your thinking, according to your culture, according to your belief. But according to me, as an individual who believes in the Bible, I believe that it is a mess, and it's something that cannot work because of the number of reasons that I've given you. It is a disadvantage to women than to men, rather. The men will still, win in this scenario, because imagine a woman that is married to two men, and the time that she's pregnant, the other men will say, I'm not going to come there because I can't be nursing somebody else's pregnancy. Imagine that. So it's going to put a lot of trauma on women. So women who are advocating for this is a very big recipe for disaster. You might say, let's do it, but I tell you, it's going to put a very big toll on you. People will commit suicide because of this. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and tell me what you think about polyandry. I would love to hear from you. This is your boy once again today, reminding you that Rise Up Africa. I'll see you on the next episode.